What is up, everybody? Today, I'm here to give you guys a special video. As you can see by the title, I'm joined today by one of my friends, and the very friend that I was watching One Piece last year with, that you guys heard about either on social media or on YouTube, and we decided we want to do another video talking about One Piece, obviously the anime, and talk about the Wano arc. There's a lot of things that's happened. Me and him have been very excited to talk about it. We finally just kind of got caught back up with One Piece, mainly the anime, and so we kind of want to go over the major points of, like, the new anime, like the animation, to the art style and all that. So, Trent, you want to go over what we're going to be talking about?
Well, obviously, this video is going to be about Wano, and the shift in the animation and art style from Whole Cake and the Reverie to now. Mainly due to the new series director, Tatsuya Nagamine, whose previous works include Film Z and Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Which is pretty crazy, honestly. Just hearing, you know, that alone, that he worked and was the director of the new Broly movie, actually makes me excited for this Wano arc, because the work that was put into the Broly movie is ridiculous. Regardless if you hate Dragon Ball Super.
I'm not the biggest Dragon Ball fan, you know this,
I
but
know.
I enjoyed Broly when we watched it together.
Yeah, that says a lot. I remember when we watched it, it's like, you're not a big fan of it. I remember, you don't really care too much about Dragon Ball Z, but you wanted to see how it was, and you got to check it out, and I remember you were excited, like, man, this looks freaking crazy. I mean, it was a really good movie. So, that same director that worked on that is working on the Wano arc. Is leading this, you know, new style of the One Piece anime, at least for the Wano arc. You want to go over the next points that we're going to be going over?
The new in-canon filler they added. After Whole Cake, I decided I'm going to read the manga. So, I'm caught up. I know what's, you know, up to date. But we saw some scenes in the newest episodes that weren't in the manga. Zoro's introductory in Wano wasn't in the manga. The first time we saw him in the manga, he was already captured.
Yeah, that's how the arc kind of started. It started off with Zoro being tied up. We didn't really get to see what led up to that point really at all, but the anime actually shows that, which is kind of crazy. So that's definitely something.
Like the entire first half of the episode too.
Yeah,
which is.
And I think the next points we're getting into we want to talk about the OST, like the Hiyori song, like just her jamming out, like she was going ham. I don't know the exact instrument she was using, but she was going ham with the instrument in the few episodes we saw of Wano. And then also, obviously, the new opening song we want to discuss too, especially the scenes within the opening song.
The same opening is sung by I forgot his name, but it's the same singer that did We Are, We Go, and We Can.
Yeah, so that's, it really shows, because the openings on the new one, I really like it. I really love the overall design.
And it's a new era for One Piece, because they got their original singer back to do this new opening.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously we're going to be stuck with the opening song for a long time. I mean, usually when it comes to openings of One Piece, we both know that they're going to last like 50 plus.
At least for Act 1.
Yeah, at least
maybe for some of Act 2.
I would say longer than that, especially with the scenes within the opening song. Like, there's just no way, with how many scenes are in that opening that kind of lead up to the current events of the manga, there's just no way. Like, there's just... There's no way that's not going to stick around for a very long time. They'll probably change the visuals, but I think it's going to be around for a while. And then we want to talk about the voice actresses, mainly for Tama and Hiyori. Those are the two that we really want to get into. And
yeah, our new voice actresses to the anime.
Yes, and I think that's pretty much our main points we're going to discuss. So, yeah, I guess let's start off. You want to start off with the animation art style? You want to talk about that?
Oh, man. What a difference this is, Jacob. Alright, so, you and I, we loved Dressrosa, Zoe, and Whole Cake, right?
Yes, even despite its problems, obviously, with pacing and everything, animation flaws, I did enjoy Dressrosa. I even said, with a video with you, saying that Dressrosa was definitely a better watch, binging. It was definitely better.
But, you know my main complaint throughout Whole Cake was the water. If you look at that water...
Oh yes, the water, it is, like, when you look at Whole Cake Island's water, and then you put it side by side, the water you see in Wano, just in the first episode of the Wano arc when it starts, it is night and day. You're like, oh my god, we got CGI filth, and then we have, like, hand-drawn beauty. You're like, what happened? Like, obviously, you know, the director and stuff coming in, but it's just like, holy crap, it's just so different. Like, just the water alone speaks so much. It's kind of like in games, honestly. You know, when you're playing a game, you can always tell how good a game's graphics are by the water. That's kind of what we can do here with this. Just the water looks so incredible. But there's just so much. Like, the animation art style is... I love the new design with the characters, the line art. Like, what's your thoughts on that line art? Like, that honestly...
Oh, the line art? Ooh. It's so thick, and it really brings out some of the shading, too. Like, if you just look at Zoro's Wano design, all the shading, the outlining, it makes him look vibrant. Like, even the new, like, color filter, it makes his hair so much...
Yeah,
like,
it's very bright. It's very vibrant. Honestly, I don't think his hair's really ever been that bright.
It's very colorful. It's literally like the manga animated. And I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, like, it's a first, honestly. Like, the early stages of One Piece, like the early days, like when we got into, let's say, Skypiea and Water 7, the anime was kind of at its peak at that point, my personal opinion. Like, it was really beautiful. But the thing about it is that even despite, you know, the quality of Water 7, Skypiea and all that, it's still, when you compare it, like, when you compare the anime with the manga was still superior in every single way. Like, it was still superior. Yes, music is a thing, voice acting is a thing, it does make it better in a lot of different moments.
In terms of pacing, especially in arcs where I felt dragged a little, like Thriller Bark, Impel Down, I felt dragged in the anime.
I thought that was very quick in it, really?
I don't know. It's supposed to be like 20 chapters, right? So, like,
I guess...
felt like, I think it was 30 episodes.
I guess it does. Now that you mention it, was a little long. There's probably just a lot of, like, still frames and camera panning to the side, like typical One Piece, which we'll get into
typical
that.
Toei.
We'll talk about that one in a bit. But, yeah, the overall just line art, the colors, it literally looks like the manga animated, and it's the best way to really describe the new style of art and animation, which I think is the best thing I could ever ask for. I think as One Piece fans, if you have been waiting to kind of watch the anime, like if you only read the manga...
Oh, yeah. If we can't get One Piece as a seasonal anime, this is the next best thing.
I honestly, as I was telling Trent here when we were watching the episodes, I was like, there's just no way they can keep this consistent level of quality. And it scares me, honestly, because they've already managed to keep it for, you know, many episodes now. But the thing is just because of how detailed it is and how beyond, like, it looks beyond anything we've seen from Whole Cake Island, the Reverie, and all that. I'm just like, there's just no way we're gonna be able to keep this going for months at a time. Like, I doubt it. But so far, the past 3 to 4 episodes of Wano, it's kept that detail, and well, we'll see. We'll definitely see if it's going to last.
Well, I believe they said that they plan to keep this consistency for at least 6 months, is what I heard.
I'd be really impressed. I just hope the animators are getting paid and rest, because you know how that is.
Oh, yeah.
Usually they get overworked and stuff, so hopefully that's not going to lead to any problems. But yeah, the art style and animation, just overall great. Line art is the big thing that's definitely changed. It's more traditional Japanese style. And I think that it makes sense of all times to do it. They would do it in the Wano arc.
Wano represents Japan, so of course they want to represent their country the best, like, and their traditions the best way that they possibly can.
Yeah, and I mean, you can just see with the way the art is, that it just represents Japan's...
The art, the music, the costume, just the character design. Wano has potential to be up there with Water 7 and Enies Lobby and Marineford, basically the whole Paramount War, at this rate that it's going.
Well, even then, the Paramount War did have its own issues. Despite it being amazing, it did have issues. And, I mean, after rewatching it with you that while back, I realized just how many issues it kind of did have upon looking. I was like, whoa, it shocked me. But I do think, though, that, yes, in terms of everything we've seen, this has potential to be probably the best animated arc of One Piece, and probably the highest it's, like I said, ever been in a very, very long time. So, it's got a lot of potential.
Ever since episode 870, which was, Luffy versus Katakuri, which obviously, you had all those different animators come in, and obviously Shida.
We don't want to get off topic, but that is an amazing episode. That alone blew my mind. That. Okay, so let me see here. What do we have on the list to talk about? So we talked about the line art stuff. Oh, fodder characters. That's a big one. Fodder characters. So, yeah, I'll let you start. You start, because you're the one that always mentions it.
Fodder characters, what we mean by that is, like, the Marines, the little crooks, the pirates, how they have blank faces, sometimes repeating face design.
I know, and they look like lines. Like, they literally have dots for eyes and just a line mouth. You're like, what is that? Or their body looks so deformed. You're like, that is not human. Like, what is that?
And what we saw in that one episode where Zoro was facing off against all those fodder characters, there were some repeating faces, yes, but they didn't look like amalgamations of everything gone wrong in the line art.
No, it just doesn't look like Play-Doh pressed together. It's, yeah, so the fodder characters have definitely gotten a major upgrade. It shows that if they're willing to go an extra step and properly put details on fodder characters, it honestly speaks a lot. You can say whatever you want about the water, to the line art of the main characters, but when you actually see the fodder background characters look detailed, now that right there, that's impressive. So, yeah. Okay, so I guess we could talk about the in-canon filler added for Wano, different from, just how different it is from, like, the typical in-canon filler we get. So, I think this one I can talk about since I have more of experience with it, because you just recently caught up with the manga, so I've seen it while we were rewatching the show, or at least I was rewatching it with you. If there's one thing that One Piece's anime has a big problem with, besides pacing, for obvious reasons, it lacks filler. Honestly, One Piece lacks filler. And
oh yeah, this was really evident in the gaps between Fishman Island all the way up to Whole Cake, because they just kept it going, and like
the thing is, they don't traditionally add in filler scenes.
Like when was the last time we had a filler arc like G8?
You don't see that. You really don't see filler arcs.
You don't.
But even then, in-canon filler, when there's perfect areas to put in-canon filler, Toei usually didn't do that. And it's just like, you could easily slide something in, but you don't. And I think that it's something that One Piece has always lacked. And I know many are going to be like, whoa, isn't not, like, no filler a good thing? To an extent, it is. But sometimes there's a problem to where there is opportunities to add in filler to expand upon the world without hurting the core content of the original source, but also making it to where we're not just watching still frames panning from the left to the right, which that's my biggest problem with the anime.
The Reverie was butchered.
Oh, I personally didn't watch the Reverie arc.
Well, after the last episode of Whole Cake, Soul Pocus, that beautiful send-off for Whole Cake.
That was
I watched maybe 3 episodes after, which Luffy finds out his new bounty, and then Kobe's flash. They just basically started recapping stuff we've seen before for like 60% of the episode.
Oh, okay, yeah. See that's bad. That's bad. But they were obviously using that to build up time for Wano too. So you gotta look at it like that. But even then, the
we butchered the Reverie for the savior that is Wano.
Yeah, but still, Reverie is very important, in my personal opinion.
Oh, yes.
I think that's a really important arc, so it's kind of sad they
There's a lot of world building, especially with Im-sama.
Oh, yes. I'm still curious about the whole Shank Sword deal. I really want to know more about that one. But, yeah, see, the thing is, One Piece has a lot of problems with its filler in terms of still frames. That's how it usually uses filler, to where you have it focus on the same character expression 3 to 4 times over and over again, and it happens in one episode. So, like, for instance, it's one chapter being adapted, or half a chapter being adapted for a 20-minute episode, and they straight up use, let's say, this character doing an expression like, and all that, like 8 times, and it shows his face, his reaction face, like 8 times. Or we see the landscape being panned over like 10 times throughout the episode, scattered about. That just fills up like seconds upon seconds of time to really squeeze in the episode to a proper runtime. And that
birdcage flashbacks.
Yeah, the birdcage from Dressrosa is a perfect example. And see, Wano's doing something very different, which, you know, I'll let you get into that. You talk about how Wano's doing it very different.
Alright, so, we've already explained this briefly at the beginning, but they've added an entire, like, new scene for Zoro, like his introduction in Wano. So, as, you know, Hiyori's going ham on the instrument with that new rockin' Wano theme, we see Zoro's introductory in Wano. We see his glorious return after years of not seeing him in the anime.
It was so long. It was so freaking long.
Even
the manga, before when the manga got there, it was so long too. Like, it took so long for the manga to get there. You remember that? Like, well, actually, you weren't reading the manga, but I know that people watching this remember that. It was so long. It took so long to finally see Zoro again with new content. So, yeah, seeing Zoro again, made me happy. But continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then we see the way that he got captured because of, you know, the slasher that's going about town killing people.
Yeah.
And he gets framed. Even though it's so obvious you could tell who did
it. That's just the, you know, disguises, man.
Yeah.
But,
then, we see a glorious fight scene with him versus all the fodder as Hiyori's going ham on the instrument.
Hiyori's music, oof, I love that.
Oh, it's so good.
But, yeah, Zoro, I do think that the added Zoro scene, just seeing the extra fights, to seeing the man, like, actually have these moments where he's walking by himself and people confronting him throughout, you know, the beginning stages of these Wano episodes with these added scenes, because it's completely different from the manga. Like, in the manga, we start off with Zoro just being kind of, like, trying to be executed. But in the anime, we actually see what led up to that very point of him being framed and all that. So, the added scenes for Zoro, the in-canon filler, I like. But do you like those?
Yeah.
Do you think that's the proper way to handle, like, the in-canon filler?
Yes, and it also reinforces some characters. Like, you know, I love Usopp. Like, he's probably one of my top three Straw Hats.
Hey, I agree, man. Usopp is amazing. That sugar moment in Dressrosa will always be a major highlight. When that man came in.
Oh, for me, it's when he unlocked Haki.
Yeah, that was when he did the sugar, remember? When he unlocked Haki.
Well, there were 2 different moments with sugar. There's God Usopp, and then there's where he unlocks his observation Haki. Yeah, getting back to the point, it's been a long time since I've seen Usopp act the way he normally did, and we got a great Usopp moment. Like, it's not as, like, monumental as you would think, but it adds a lot to the episode. Or to his character, because he's a liar. He's good at that.
Yeah. He's always been good at that. That's
the boy who cried wolf is basically what Syrup Village was. But yeah, we see this. No, first we see him selling toad oil to people.
Which
like,
is, that comes around to bite him so bad later on. We both know. That is a sad moment.
Yeah.
But
and then the scene where the new filler scene where they're actually him and Robin see Zoro's wanted poster. And Usopp's like, please stop him. I'm the father of 10 children and the oldest is 7.
That man is such a good liar, and how the man ran off. The man ran off's like, we'll get him.
We'll get him for you.
Oh my god. Yeah, the Usopp Lie extra scene, that was great. That wasn't in the manga, was it? I don't believe that was.
I don't believe it was when I was reading.
I
But
don't...
I know it doesn't seem like too important, but for a character like Usopp, it adds a lot for me, personally.
I hope we get some more Brook scenes, to be honest. I want more Brook.
It's been a while since
want
we
my
had
bone
some good Brook
boy.
scenes.
I want my bone boy to shine. So I think that's the in-canon filler we've talked. I guess we can move over to, Hiyori's OST, and then the new opening and all that. I guess I'll start. Hiyori. Obviously a very iconic character in this arc of Wano. We know she has her instruments that she plays in the manga. And the thing is Toei decided to go a little bit in on the music. Which is something that
they went in.
Oh, they did. And, I mean, we saw this already used in Whole Cake Island with the musical, like, with Big Mom singing and stuff. It was a big theme of Whole Cake Island. Felt like a weird Tim Burton, like, Disney, like, theme songs. I love it. But the thing is I've been waiting to hear the music of Wano, but they went in because as soon as it starts, you just see Hiyori. She's going ham on, I don't know what the instrument's called, but she just goes ham, and it's so beautiful. I wish I could play the music for you guys to listen to, but obviously copyright's a thing. But it's just, if you have not watched the episodes of Wano, please go check it out, just for that alone. It's so beautiful. But the soundtrack, Hiyori's music, like, I cannot believe they added those extra scenes for that, just to fit the theme of the arc. Oh
yeah, not to mention that they also remixed the transition scenes, like, you know, Luffy's theme and Zoro's theme.
Oh, yes. And they made it more like Japanese, like, Wano theme. That is something I enjoyed, too. I didn't expect that one. I remember being you freaked out when we saw, like, whoa, they changed, the transition scenes. And it's so beautiful, too, the new transition scenes.
Oh, yeah. I love them a lot. It's a lot more visually interesting than, you know, a seagull flying by and then you just see their wanted poster.
Have we seen all the Straw Hats? Have we seen all the Straw Hats?
No. I think we've only heard Zoro and Luffy's.
Have we? We haven't seen Robin's? Or
no.
Brooks or anything? I'm really curious on Brooks.
I would notice. I know their themes. We did watch every episode.
I hope we get to see Brooks soon. I want to see Brooks.
I want to see Frankie's.
Frankie's would be great. Oh, man. I wonder if Carrot will get her own.
We'll see. You and I want that to happen.
I do want Carrot to join the Straw Hats. I think Luffy does need a mink, so I think it'd just be right. And then also since Jinbei's, gone, so, I mean, yeah.
hey, we don't know that yet.
I'm dead as hell. He dead. He dead.
Hey, I like Jinbei.
I do too, but I mean, dead. There's no way you're telling me that man survived Big Mom. But, let's see. Now, the opening song. This is a big one. So, obviously, with every new arc, we get a new opening song. It's what happens for almost any anime. One Piece takes a while to get a new opening, so usually when it does get an opening, it's kind of like celebration, because it does mean that we're getting into something new. The opening song, I like it. I don't think it's my favorite. I still love Share the World and We Go. But I do like this one. I especially love the visuals within it, despite it being very spoilerish, which I'll let you talk about.
Oh, it is. Do we want to talk about, like, you gonna put a spoiler warning for people, like a time stamp for when we...
I mean, let's not get into too many... Let's not talk about spoilers. We're just gonna say that it pretty much spoils, like, all the way up to the latest events of the manga.
Yeah.
Like, it's
and
like...
I told you that it even spoiled manga readers, too.
Yeah,
on
there's
one
things...
specific...
Yeah, there's one thing that they spoil that's, like, straight up not even revealed in the manga yet. And I honestly can't believe it. I mean, obviously Toei probably knows what the character looks like. Oda's probably given the design over or something. Yeah. But it's
there's obviously been some supervision on the opening. What can be shown, what can't be.
Yeah, there's a lot of spoilers in the opening. Visually, though, it's beautiful.
Oh, it is beautiful.
It's a really beautiful opening. I mean, I do think the visuals are probably going to change, though. Especially between the acts. I definitely see that.
As much as I don't like Dragon Ball too much, it reminded me of, like, the original or Dragon Ball Z like Japanese opening. It was like whimsical. It felt like an 80s anime intro.
You're talking about the original Dragon Ball Z, like the one that that popped up with Goku and the Saiyan Saga and stuff. Ah, that one. Yeah. Now you mention it does feel like that. I didn't even think about that one.
Like it really puts the adventure back in One Piece.
I mean, all the songs are usually good, like the Whole Cake Island opening. Oh my god, that was so good. But the Katakuri.
Yeah.
The Katakuri one, come on.
Which one? Hope or Superpowers?
Superpowers is really good. Especially when you see the, like, the glass break. Yeah, the opening's new visuals. It's very spoilerish. I don't think we can dive into it too much, because there's just so many spoilers. It's bad. It's super bad. Like, I'm shocked with how much they showed in it. Because they went out of their way with superpowers and hope and all that to hide things. To, like, make it black silhouettes. But it looked like they didn't even care with this one. They didn't care at all.
Yeah, but I like this opening. You know, I generally like every opening. The only opening I haven't liked that I didn't really think fit One Piece was opening 12. It's the Impel Down opening.
Yeah, that Impel Down one, yeah. That one was a weird feeling one. It felt like happy or whatever. Like jazzy.
Yeah,
like,
I guess it's like to contrast, you know, the hellish prison.
It's still very weird, though. It's still a very weird song to have, though.
Oh, yeah, so we got some new voice actresses for Wano. And they've got some pretty good previous works they've been involved with.
Which one's your favorite, honestly, out of the two we're going to be talking about?
Oh, I love Tama. You know I love Hunter x Hunter. So you know I'm excited for Tama.
Honestly, I'm just surprised with the range that Tama's voice actress has. Like, her name is Megumi Han, the voice actress of Tama from One Piece. Her range is insane. Like, it is super talented. To see just how she's able to voice someone like Tama, and when you compare it with these other characters, like, is that really the same person? Like, it's shocking.
She does not sound anything like Gon yet.
No, she does not sound like Gon at all. Like, Gon, yes, we always knew he was voiced by a female. Well, that was already clarified a long time ago. But when you see just the Tama's voice, when you hear it, you do not hear Gon. You do not hear Gon at all. You're just like, wait, that's the same voice actor? I had to double take when Trent here, he's the one that told me. I had to double take and actually look it up. I was like, wait, what? It's shocking. It's literally, they don't sound the same. But it's crazier when you realize the other roles that this voice actress has done. Like Megumi Han. She has voiced Glass. FYI, Glass is the character in Shield Hero. Rising of the Shield Hero that aired last season. She voiced Glass. Which... whoa, because Glass's voice actor, like the voice acting from her is so different from Gon and Tama. It's a very different tone to it. So, once again, the range on this voice actress. And then, she voiced Miki from Devilman Crybaby, which is another ridiculous role that just like, really? She's played all these characters and they sound very different. They do not sound the same at all. Like, usually you can kind of, you know, peg a voice actor like, oh, this sounds like this character, okay, they're obviously the same.
Yeah, like Zoro's voice actor, I immediately recognized him in Fire Force.
Yeah, like, you could just tell.
But her, I didn't even notice until I found out on social media.
That's just shocking to me. Like, she's a really good voice actor, but Tama is just a sweetheart, so I'm glad to see such a famous voice actor... you know,
oh, she's so adorable in the anime.
She's sweet. I really love Tama. Great character. And then we have Hiyori, which I'll let you talk about it first, because I know you have a character that she voices that you really love.
Alright, so Hiyori in One Piece is voiced by Hana Mizuki, which most of you probably know. She voiced Hinata in the original Naruto. Which I watched a little bit of Naruto up to the Chunin exams. I didn't watch anything after or Shippuden, so I did like Hinata from the little bit I watched. But she voiced Chilai in the Broly movie.
No, Sheila has gained a lot of fame with her introduction
Especially
into.
in the art community, trust me.
Oh, I know you don't. Well, let's not get into that one. But
We're
yeah,
not gonna.
But Sheila is a great character. I loved her in the Broly movie. I loved the voice actor about her. And finding out that Hiyori's voice actress is the same person that voiced Sheila, oh, it fits so well, especially with just how the personality of Hiyori is. It fits so well. So, that's going to be interesting, because we really haven't got to hear Hiyori's voice actor yet. Like, you know, the voice actress, haven't got to actually see a scene with her. We've only just seen her going ham on the instruments. Well, we still have yet to really see a scene, so that's going to be interesting. But another character she voiced, which some of you are going to recognize, she voiced Mio from Dororo. If you remember Dororo from last season, which is very popular, obviously, Mio is the character that our, MC was very attached to. Yeah, Hiyori's voice actress, Nana Mizuki, voiced Mio. So, yeah, that's another great role she played. So, yeah, I think it's the best voice actress, honestly, to pick for the role, especially for the personality that Hiyori has. So I think we're done with all the points. Is there anything you would like to discuss or go over before we kind of wrap this up?
I think we basically tackled everything that we wanted to, so...
Okay, so I think we're pretty much done then. So, I guess, that's about it. If you guys, enjoyed this video, let us know in the comments below, and, I had a lot of fun. What about you, Trent? Talking about One Piece.
Yeah, I had fun. Again, it's been about a year since our last one together,
Yeah,
but
it's been a long time.
Enjoyed it. Yeah, our last one was when we caught up to the anime, was when Luffy and Sanji made up, and that was
a long time ago.
It feels like forever ago, but in reality it was only a year ago.
Yeah. I would love to make this more of a routine thing, to sit down and do this and all that. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, and this type of format with us talking, we still, this is a work in progress, obviously. Like the format with maybe the images and stuff, it's a work in, progress.
Probably won't be a weekly thing, but maybe when there's a lot of content to talk about.
Yeah, but I mean, if you guys have any suggestions about how we can improve upon this or make it better for you guys to watch, let us know. I wouldn't necessarily say that this is a podcast, but I mean, we'll see where we're going to go with it. Like I said, if you guys have any ideas, let us know. I mean, we're definitely going to be listening, reading comments to see what you guys think. And I had a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to sit down and do this, because I like One Piece, and I'm glad we get to talk about the anime, because despite people wanting to constantly dislike the anime, One Piece does have good anime, and it's been really good for a while, honestly, despite some issues it has.
And One Piece is picking back up, at least in the anime. I think people are starting to watch it again. More, obviously people watch, but more people are starting to come back to it.
At least in the West. The West, more people are starting to pick it back up.
Yeah.
Because in Japan, people watch it regardless. They don't care. So, I guess that's about it. Do you want to say your goodbyes before I wrap this up?
Oh, yeah. Alright, so, sayonara, everyone.
That is cringe. That is cringe.
I meant for it to be cringe, I'm gonna be honest.
We're just gonna leave it at that. We're gonna let people realize you're a cringe lord. We're just gonna make sure people realize you're a cringe lord, and that's it. So, okay, you guys have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. If you enjoy this video, leave a like. If you want to see more, let us know in the comments below. And with that, guys, I love you. Be safe. Chibi out.